What role did social media play in yesterday's disaster in D.C.? Joining me now to try to make some sense of this is Jennifer Gregel. They are assistant professor of communications and social media at Syracuse University. So Jennifer, how big of a role do you think social media played in the violence that ensued yesterday?
Unfortunately, here in the United States, over the last 4 years, we have really seen the impact and how social media has disrupted communications and how it has interfered with things like the free press and their ability to hold power to account. Unfortunately, the president of the United States has been abusing these platforms, and it's all a form of propaganda, and it's culminated in what we saw yesterday at the Capitol. And unfortunately, no one wanted to see it become violent, but as the president has lost power, he's become more abusive, more violent in his rhetoric, and again, we just saw the implications of what happens when the government is able to propagandize a whole lot of people. He had at one point over 88 million followers on Twitter, for example, and he's able to circumvent the press. So this is a concern around the world. That's why I'm here speaking with you all today to raise awareness around the government's ability to propagandize its own people. We need more laws and folks to look at this.
What role do you think social media plays in this situation? We know that the Twitter account was temporarily suspended on Twitter. What do you think needs to happen moving forward with respect to these social media giants and the role they play, whether they like it or not?
I've been calling on the platforms for years to do what's called pre-moderation for world leaders, especially President Trump, given his history of abuse. These need to be run on a live delay to make sure that they do not violate policy before they are published. You cannot simply recall a presidential tweet, for example. Going forward, we need regulators, unfortunately, to take a look at these platforms to make sure that they do the right thing. A 12-hour pause at Twitter, a 24-hour delay at Facebook is an insult to the American people. After there was an attempted coup on the Capitol yesterday, that's what it was. And we saw a woman who was killed inside the Capitol, and American democracy was disrupted. A simple pause on the president's social media is not enough. So we need federal regulation to look at this. Unfortunately, there's also a conflict of interest between lawmakers who are elected, how they get elected using social media, and we need these elected officials to essentially roll back their own communication power, especially in the United States, where we need a strong free press. And I just want to, again, thank all the journalists who were out on the Capitol yesterday, sharing everything that was happening and helping us to see and to provide transparency into exactly what was going on down there.
Right. A lot to process as we look at those disturbing images and what transpired at the U.S. Capitol. And hopefully some coming togetherness, right? That's what we need to see in the next little while. Jennifer Gregel, Assistant Professor of Communications and Social Media, thank you for this.
Thank you.